I'm Kevin Eddens, and welcome to Chocolate Drop. We invite you to be a fly on the wall as we sit with black men and black women from all walks of life and discuss the topic of black love, the issues at hand, and ultimately what's driving black men and black women to date outside the race. Enjoy.
We would like to welcome you to Chocolate Drop. Oh yeah.
All right, we're live at the Cave Cigar Lounge with a mixed party of black men and women, and we're going to talk about black love.
All right. Now, what would you say?
I think, so
Talk to the mic.
The premises of a black woman's relationship pretty much starts with the relationship she has with her father.
Absolutely.
And I tell all my male friends, if they are not with the mother of their child, particularly if it's a daughter, to make sure that he treats her right and he introduces her to how a man should treat her. Because based on the relationship a young lady has with her father, good, bad, or indifferent, is how she will have a relationship with every man from that point in her life. So if a father promises her things and never comes through, she'll be distrustful. But if a father sets the premises of how she should deal with how a man should treat her, that's exactly what she'll expect from every man. And as I was telling Kevin,
Who's Kevin? That's Kevin.
this is Kevin.
Where are you? Stay with us.
As I was explaining to
All right, my bad. So let me ask you a question. Do you think black love is dying?
absolutely not.
It is.
No.
Let's get the brother.
I don't think so.
I think the black love. Oh, I gotta
mic.
hold the mic. Okay. I think black love, as like your mama and daddy had it, is gone.
That shit's gone.
I think it's gone.
Granddaddy, grandma.
The black love, yeah. The way that your grandmother held your grandfather down, that's
Same
over.
way. Because when your grandmother and your grandfather, even if your grandfather had stepped out on your grandmother, she stayed.
She's a rider.
And she actually welcomed that extra baby into the house because she wanted you to be a father to that kid. So you can't.
It's a different day.
It's totally different day.
Wait. With
Because
you,
we have assistant deans now.
with
that
you,
are women.
but hold on. With you saying that, but hold on. With you saying that now, it kind of reminds me of another conversation we had on the podcast. And here's what I brought up. Okay, now back then, the man was the breadwinner. She got her own money now.
Yeah. Right.
Now wait.
I wish you had your own money.
She got her own money now.
Now she was floating.
So is it that the black woman back then stayed and stuck it out?
Oh, because she
She
didn't.
had no fucking option.
Right. Yep.
Or you understand what I'm saying?
I think now.
Or was it a mixture of both? That
I think now, because she has her own money, and a lot of them some have fathers in their life, but some are trying to get more. They're trying to hold the guy more accountable it depends on how you're raised. Because how I was raised, the way I was raised, you take care of your family, no matter what. And that's a proven fact, because it's been seen through me, the way I took care of a person before me, before where I am now.
are you in a relationship with a black woman right now?
No, I'm not. I'm in a relationship with a Spanish woman now.
No.
But
Cuban.
With a Cuban woman.
Was that intentionally to go to another?
No, it
person?
wasn't. It was never
You fell in
intentionally.
love with her.
But that's what I was drawn to.
After his first marriage failed. But I think
My first,
a black woman.
I was married.
married
I was
to
married to
a black woman?
an Italian woman.
she was Italian and black.
She was Italian and black.
Okay, so she was mixed.
She was mixed, but it didn't work. But the way I was brought up was to take care of home.
Absolutely.
So when you're taking care of home, you don't worry about all the other stuff that's going around. It didn't work. Not that it was because of the dynamics.
All right, let me ask you a question. So, do you see a difference between the two women?
Well, I do see a difference now. It's a difference now because we share everything. I let go of the way I was brought up. Take care of everything. The alpha male. I have to take care of everything. I have to do this. Now we're a team.
Expenses, or you mean like
We're a team.
You share like
we're a team. Everything.
Okay,
Everything.
It's open.
From your heart
Yeah.
to the money that's in the bank.
Right.
You sharing it all.
Right.
And she's a strong woman for that.
Right.
And where I let, as she would say, I let everything go in my first time around. I let everything go. I cut friends off and everybody. And friends that are friends, not because she told me to, because I felt like
she ain't had no damn personality.
she didn't know. I
hope she hear this.
I didn't think she could have took that.
She couldn't rock.
She couldn't take that.
She couldn't
But
rock with the crew.
but when I met the second one, I said, it's these people or nothing.
My peoples. Right.
This is where I'm gonna be regardless. They're gonna be around me till the day I go.
Right.
So they rock with me.
Right.
And they rock with her. I might have should have did that in the beginning. Maybe that would have worked, but
Right.
it might have still didn't work
In hindsight.
because that person wasn't the person that she was.
Like that
she
to
was the
be-
person who she is now.
Gotcha.
So my new person is the person who she is, all the way through.
Gotcha.
So that's where it is. That's the difference. It's not about a black woman because all women are the same. They all the same.
Are they?
It's different
Wait,
races.
all
They are the same. They are the same.
Are they the
All
same?
women are the same.
Absolutely not.
They are the same. If you present yourself, if you present yourself who you are
Let me tell you.
from the beginning.
Listen, in essence, we're all the same, all men, all women, because they have a class, and when you're studying to be a doctor, called Gray's Anatomy,
Right.
right? So when you open up the human body, it's not this is a woman's body, it's a male, it's a body. The heart is in. If you open up the body and the heart is on the right side, it's a problem because this person is not right. So in essence, we're all the same, but your experiences is what makes you different.
So our experiences are based on our culture. So you cannot absolutely not say we're the same. Because if I'm born Puerto Rican,
but no.
I'm Puerto Rican.
See,
if I'm
what-
born Cuban,
those are
I'm
just-
Cuban. If I'm black, I'm black. It's
But
not the
what
same.
you're saying is
And black
it's small differences
everything.
and things that it's
Even
the,
in, let me tell you something.
see, because the black woman doesn't let you talk.
Black woman doesn't
Why?
let you talk
Listen,
when you're
I have
wrong.
the mic,
But
but
the black woman doesn't let you talk when you're wrong.
but I'm not wrong. It's just that you disagree with my opinion.
You're not a woman.
Of course, I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
Okay, well, go ahead. We'll let you take that.
So what I'm saying is, in essence, like what we're doing, we're expressing generalities to express the dialogue, to continue the dialogue. Now, of course, every person that's sitting at this table is different. I'm not like him. I'm not like him. I'm not like him. But at the end, we're all men,
Based on what?
based on who we are.
Man.
Based on what?
And where it
I'm
comes
looking
from.
for one key word. What? Based on what? Experience.
But I said that. I said that previously. But what I'm saying is,
There is a lot of experience here at this table.
different experiences according to what.
Get Yolanda.
That's
Yolanda.
What the diversity kicks in.
Come on, Dean.
Come on, Dean. This is the dean.
This is the dean of X,
Hold the phone,
Y, Z, A, B, C's, and 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I
So
do
what do you think?
I do agree that it's about experience, right? Because I have grandparents that have been married for 70 years, right? And then I have 70, right? And then I have parents yeah. And then I have parents that got married.
That's what I'm saying. It's dead.
That's not even real, right? And then I have parents that were married that have been married now for 35, right? And they were married 5 years prior to having me and my brother, and we're twins. So they had 5 years just to enjoy their marriage. Just to
Yo, no more drinks for you, bro. No more drinks for you, bro.
And I think it is about your experience, because for me, I'm 29. You know what I mean? And so but I have always seen royalty when I've seen a black man.
Wow.
I could see a black man like fiend out and still see majestic spirit in him.
Still see God.
Still. You know what I mean? And so there is something still for me as a young black female. I saw my father run our household. I saw my grandfather run his household, make sacrifices for my grandmother, see my grandmother as a black woman make sacrifices, right? In 70 years of marriage, yeah, my grandfather, there might have been times where he was unfaithful, but my grandmother stayed. You know what I mean? And so the staying power is what I saw.
Let me ask you the same question. You think she stayed because women really they couldn't earn their own money?
No, she was the breadwinner in the house and stayed.
Oh, really? Wow.
She was paying the mortgage.
I think so.
You know what I mean? So
let me ask you this, Yolanda.
Yep.
Dean of XYZ.
The dean.
Okay, and all children born between
To the third.
and 2001.
Dean to the third degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Professional woman.
Yep.
Right? College educated.
Masters in PA.
Masters. I'm going to ask you a real honest ass question.
Yeah. Be ready for my answer.
I'm totally open to it. So, what do you think about black men dating outside of the race?
This is good.
I think the truth of the matter of like what I have seen in terms of black men dating outside of their race, right, is that they date women that speak to the things that we as black women have not spoken to in our men, right? So we don't, at times we are so focused on our strength, we are so focused on being strong and all of those things that there are times that we forget to show our men our vulnerability. We forget to show our men our vulnerability, right?
Show no emotion.
We show no emotion, right? Like, so if you break our heart, you cheat on us, we like, yo, I'm good, right? As opposed to saying like, nah, you fucked me up, right? And so the interesting part is I recognize that my relationships have been more fruitful when I've shown the vulnerable side because my significant other has appreciated like, yo, I see that power, but I am really, really privileged to see a side of you that no other man, woman, or anybody else on this earth gets a chance to see. Right. And he honors.
And so let me ask you a quick question. Why do you think black women hide that side from black men?
Consider it to be weak.
Yeah, because
so,
we
where's that coming from?
That's coming from a part of woman being only the female who has run the household.
Yeah.
Black women have been hurt. Black women have been head of households. I don't think you guys even understand. So Yolanda and I, who I am probably, 13, 14 years her senior? 15, possibly. Go to hell, both of y'all. Shut up. Right. So Yolanda's 29, I'm 42, do the math. Both of us come from two-parent households. Mom, like as I forestated to Kevin that homeowners. My parents are have been married for 53 years. Right. So I watched my mom been cheated on. I've watched my mom. I've watched my mom go through different things. But when a woman gains a love for her father. Like, I know my father is not perfect. And he says things to me that he like, Tammy, I was a piece of work in my day. I'm like, you know what? You were married at 21, so it probably was accepted. So I can almost
chocolate drop.
But more importantly, shut up. More importantly, I think the older you become...
Chocolate drop.
Right. The older I think the chick is. And I say that because a lot of reality shows show such a very negative facet of black women. I'm not throwing shit on a woman. I will walk away from a bitch if she disrespects me. I don't deal with chicks that are petty and girly. And I don't mean that in the sense of the term.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Not to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
So, you keep going back to the image of your father, right? Now, when you look for a man, do you compare him to your father?
Well,
and if he doesn't meet certain how dad is, do you dismiss him? Is he weak?
So I'm 42, my partner is 55. And I have been in this relationship on and off for a couple of years. Probably about 20.
You in love?
Damn.
Honestly.
Are you in love?
Oh, I absolutely. And I don't believe in being in love. I love him because there's different facets to him. And I can't say
You don't believe in being in love?
No. I believe no. Because if you
love
fall,
is fading.
Because if you in something, you can fall out of something.
Yeah.
You can never project how you're going to feel about a person because a person's evolving every second of their life.
So your stance is that you never fall in love?
No, ain't no such thing.
No, you fall in the beginning.
No.
But
No. You learn to love a person based on different facets of their life. Because I can meet Kevin, and Kevin, that's fine. I believe that Kevin can be, Tammy meets Kevin. Kevin's fine.
Kevin's amazing.
Kevin's
Kevin's
amazing, right?
Fine motherfucker.
All right, fine motherfucker, chocolate drop.
Chocolate drop.
Right? But Kevin loses his father.
Right.
And then a year later, Kevin loses his mother. Kevin is a totally different person because experiences have changed
Well, it all
him.
depends on his connection and his relationship with
That absolutely.
father.
But let's just say Kevin had great parents that he admired
Yeah,
and loved.
it would hurt.
It would hurt.
I would be
so
different.
Kevin is a totally different. So a person can never predict how a person is going to be for the rest of their life because life experiences changes, right? So do I compare people to my father? It would be asinine to say I don't. It would almost be like, are you crazy? Absolutely, because I had a good father and I had a father who sacrificed. I had a father who was a provider. But
Would you, not to cut you off, would you date a white guy? Let me ask that question to the mic. Would you date a white guy? Can you fall in love with a white guy the same way as a black man?
I can't say no because that's never been an experience that I had to encounter.
So you never dated outside of...
I don't think I'm interested.
So you're not attracted?
Absolutely
But you
not.
haven't saw the other side.
But I'm not interested. So I'm not attracted to a white male. I've seen white men that I found to be like, oh, he's nice, appealing to the eye. But
Yeah, he
past
got
that,
swagger, shit like
right?
that, but
Past
not
that, I'm not interested because I always feel like he's gonna get wet and it's just gonna go wrong.
He's going to get what?
Get wet. He's gonna smell crazy.
Smell
No,
like a dog?
not necessarily a dog. No.
Can you elaborate on
No,
what you mean
no.
by he's wet?
And I'm being funny. I'm being really sarcastic. But I just honestly, there has never been an attraction because I think that when I look at a black man, I see sexy. I see capabilities. I see black babies. I see future.
So wait. So what if I was to tell you that a white woman looks at a black man and sees the same thing?
I can't say that that's not my experience because I'm not a white woman. But I know as a black woman.
But how does that feel?
How does it
That a white
feel?
woman looks at a black man the same way a black woman
I think
looks
love
at a
comes
black
in
man.
different forms. My best friend Eric is married to a Cuban woman, and I love Ivy. So I don't look at it as, we have our little inside jokes.
You know how they always say, like, black women always got a problem with black men dating white women?
No, I don't have a problem because I don't have a problem with me. So I think when you have insufficiencies in yourself, you find fault in other people.
Gotcha.
When I see people that's out and I watch brothers, when
love
brothers
is love.
Love is love. But that's just not. It's a matter of preference. But for Tammy LaJoy Pitt,
I mean, my brother-in-law, my sister married an Irish guy.
Okay.
Same name as me, Kevin. 2 beautiful mixed kids,
Uh-huh.
my niece and nephew.
Right.
I mean, love is love. My mother raised us like, I don't give a fuck if she green.
Right.
She treating you right.
that's how my mother raised us. Right.
You gotta rock
Love
with
has no color.
And my
You
mother
know
did
what I'm
not.
saying?
Really? No, my
And
mother,
listen,
she said you can't bring up.
and my mother, listen, and my mother, she changed her stance because in high school, all I dated was light-skinned chicks, right?
Let me find out, Kevin.
That was the whole thing.
That's why I'm saying
My mother,
my mother wasn't about that life.
my mother was like, first of all, my mother called them,
So pose the question.
my mother
What
called
did
them,
your mother expect you to bring home?
my mother called them all globe rights.
She called them my mother.
Globe Bright. Oh, you got another, remember the Globe Bright toy?
Yeah.
Oh, you bought another Globe Bright home?
And my mother called my ex-girlfriend yellow gal or red girl every time she saw her. She never called her by her name.
You ever had a conversation with your mother?
Oh
about-
yeah, my mother thought that. So my mother was a shade. My mother thought that I was a shade. My mother was a shade darker than me, right? And so
He a chocolate brother. You hear me?
As hell.
As hell.
Like chocolate drop. I'm just
Chocolate drop.
I gotta let the people
and so
He's a big chocolate drop.
and so in my big dark chocolateness, right? My mama who was a strong chocolate woman could not understand why her son would not be looking for the image of her. Right? And so
probably hurt her.
It hurt my mother completely, right?
Like,
because
why are you going for the opposite of what your mother is?
because until a few years ago, if you weren't light, it wasn't right for me, right? And so my mother rejected that, right? She thought that I had hate for my own skin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, because none of this right here translates well light skin, right? None of me translates well if I was any lighter than I currently am, right? And so I think that, to your point earlier, though, I think that black women go looking for men who either not resemble in looks, but resemble the characteristics of their dad that they loved, or if their father wasn't shit, they're looking for the exact opposite, right? Right. So some of my boys, right, these people don't know me. Some of my boys, right, Some of my boys, they absolutely go looking for the chicks who don't have fathers, right? Like, you got a daddy in your life.
Like Ted, the movie?
Yeah, you got a dad. You got a dad in your life. Nah, I don't want her, because you know for sure that if she don't have a father in her life, she might. I'm not gonna say she's not strong, but she has there's some things that's not gonna be right. If
he can crack the code easy.
You can crack the code easier if she don't have no father in her life.
Wow.
Right, and so.
She doesn't have that image.
No, because you can know who your father is, and he could have been a piece of shit.
But because some women,
Which is worse.
But my point.
they don't have a.
But my point really is. No, but my point really is.
House to be a piece of shit. That's when people get it wrong.
I don't.
Yeah, my point really is that many times, right, black women go looking for the image of their dad, right, or what they think a dad should look like. But the question really is, why don't black men go looking for the image of their mom, right? So I think that's really where sometimes we find a difference. Is that, like, yo, for me, right, I can't see myself marrying a woman who I think my mom would not have approved of, right? So for me, my mom is now deceased, and it's going to be difficult for me to get married because the woman that I choose to marry, my mother would have never vetted her. My mother would have never said, oh, nah, that crazy ass heifer over there, she ain't it, right? Or, I love that girl, bring her over here, right? And so I think that many times black men, even when we've had amazing mothers, and there are very few black men who have had bad mothers, right? Because even if your mother ain't shit, she's still your mama, and you still love her. She's still the queen of your heart.
Your mother could have been a crackhead.
She could have been a crackhead. She could have been a crackhead.
Your mother could have been a thot back in the day.
She could have sold all y'all food in y'all house for a hit. But guess what?
Smashed out the 4 tops.
Okay,
or 8 tracks
for you, right? For black men, our moms are queens. But for some reason, we go left. We don't think of looking for another black queen to go through this life with.
So let me ask you a question, Yolanda. Do you think that's programmed? We're programmed, because I believe that it all stems and it all goes back to Willie Lynch.
Yeah.
And it all goes back. I said it a couple times on the podcast, but it was a movie called Claudine. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
With James Earl Jones. And he was dating Diane Carroll.
The real black queen.
Who was a bad motherfucker. Diane Carroll was a bad motherfucker.
Come on, man. Come on. The original black
She was
queen.
Alexis on who was she on?
Yeah, on Dynasty.
Yo, listen.
Devereaux.
Hey, listen, Diane Carroll, if you're listening.
Shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot. Okay? Vintage vagina, bro.
40 years old, baby. Come and get it.
Okay?
But so he's dating Diane Carroll. Diane Carroll has like 5-6 kids.
Yep.
Remember that shit?
She was a nurse, right?
She was on welfare. She was a nurse.
Went to welfare queen.
And he was a garbage man, which was a decent job back then.
Shit, it's a decent job now.
It is. Benefits the whole nine. Good benefits.
It's always been a great job, but we put it as a lower class job.
Well, all that shit, right? Because even when Bismarck said, "Nigga, please, you work for UPS."
Right.
But what's wrong with a UPS guy?
Because Eric worked for you.
And I work for it.
See what I'm saying?
And I've elevated
I did 10
myself.
years at that.
See what I'm saying? So, I think we gotta like take a step back of what was put on us, right? But hold on. So Claudine, this guy, James Earl Jones, got to be every bit of 6'3", 6'4", big motherfucker. He would hide in the closet when the welfare people would come up.
That's right. Because he couldn't beat it.
Willie Lynch.
Because Willie Lynch put the syndrome on the program and in the system that says, listen, you better not have no black man in his house
Or you can't get your benefits.
giving a positive image to these children.
You cannot get this money.
You won't get this money. So he literally had to hide. Now, my question is, if everything was just normal shit and the relationship between black men and black women were not altered or a social program was not implemented, why would a social program meant to help underprivileged black people? It never was meant. It was always a program.
It was always a program to break down the black family.
Right.
Black men.
Say wait. Hold on.
We have to touch on why they put us all in projects. Because it was a project, because when they put it together, what they did...
It's called a project.
They put a model of a project together.
Right.
And what they did was they put rats in the project and to see how they would multiply and to see if they would kill each other to actually say this is why we could get rid of them. We would get rid of them. We'd get rid of a whole race by putting them all together. That's what a project was meant for.
So we have this conversation, then we start talking about, all right, now we can see the social programming that's been placed on black love, right? Black families.
Black love has changed.
So why does that change? Why are we not there when we get home alone with our black
Because they do
girlfriend?
They do another black project called reality shows, and it's not cool to have the boyfriend that doesn't have a 6-figure job. It's not cool to have and I say this adamantly. Everything that they tell black people to do becomes a curse, and Yolanda will attest to this. I have gone to school. I am 42. I have not had a child out of marriage. I've never been pregnant. I have a bachelor's and a master's. But I get in white America collegiate. I work for Rutgers University. And everything that you fight for becomes your curse. Because now you're sitting at the table with nepotism. Because the white girl over here got her job because her homegirl in the other department or her uncle.
But you have to go her mother, her father.
It may not even been that far. No, it may not have even been that far. Sometimes it's that, but where we are, it's because your homegirl hooked you up with a position and you got this and you almost have a sense of entitlement. Now you fight with these regular Joes when you've gotten, but now you have over $100,000 in student loans, but you fighting with folks because you with a black girl at the table or the black man at the table.
So now the king and the queen is coming off the throne to argue with the jest.
Absolutely.
But we also have to touch on that when a black woman arrives, does she forget that her king has not arrived?
But it also depends on who. We're going to go back to the basics. What is her relationship with her father?
No. Because of pre-programming.
No. Because there's nothing you can. Let me wait. Hold up.
It depends on.
Let me finish.
How she carries herself. Because pre-programming has stopped her from saying, you know what?
Shut up, Devon.
He's gonna get his life together. Let me work with him.
Okay, but that also depends on, once again, her experience with her father, because I've watched my father go from being the breadwinner to not being the breadwinner, and my mom never left. So in my mind, when I come to the table to grab my bag, to secure the bag, it's so that, goddamn it, if he lose the bag, we'll eat goddamn steak for the next 2 years, right. despite of the fact that he might make it. Now, it has nothing to do about a ride or die chick and all that stuff. It's just like, hey, shit happens. Right. My husband could break his ankle, but let me put myself in a place that ain't shit going to fall through the cracks, because guess what? I've secured the bag.
Gotcha.
But I think that part of that, and part of what E is saying is that that black women do arrive, right?
They arrive.
A lot of black women.
Okay, most of them who don't have fathers.
No. Listen. Some of my friends, right, who are older, right? So, big sis, right, has made it, right? They've made it. I mean, like, really made it, right? So that they are like C-suite executive level women, right? And they have in their minds now this thought of what their black man has to look like. Right, so now they reject the garbage man. They reject the FedEx employee because, hold on, sis, because in her mind, if I've made it and I'm 2 degrees in or 3 degrees in, right, and I'm 6-figure, I'm not gonna do this blue collar dude. And so that's why I think sometimes y'all end up 49 with no children, all the money in the damn world, right? Hold on, all the money in the damn world, and lonely. At home with your electric blanket on.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this.
And a rabbit.
No, not the rabbit.
No.
Because you have to make it clear, because they have arrived.
The bullet?
They have.
The rabbits
they have a massage.
Shut up, Dre.
From Brookstone.
You're the one.
Brookstone. Talk to me, baby. That's
but once again, what has
What's
been...
that?
Wait. But once again, what has been... Wait. But once again, what has been her experience? Because all you're saying to me is that she thinks she's better. In my mind, if the motherfucker's bringing the money home, fucking bring it home. If you digging in asses to
But
get
that's
it.
an anomaly.
That's an anomaly. Wait.
That's another. You're
but
one
wait.
in a million.
Okay,
that
because
think
I have a good fucking father.
But they think they can't work.
Honestly, because my father, my father went from, wait. My father went from making 20, which was not really common. My father went from making maybe $25 an hour to making $8 an hour. And my father would go back and forth with my mother would be mad, like, he don't make the money. I said, tell me how the fuck somebody that make $25 an hour gonna go back to make the $8 and feel okay about it. He fucking collecting unemployment. You fucking ride this way, bitch. This is how I talk to my mother, like, ride it out. So, because in my mind, if he rocked with you when you ain't have shit, bitch, you rock with him until he gets it back together.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's
about.
wait.
about a woman that's been with this
Chocolate drop. Chocolate drop.